Hello, welcome to Statistics. I'm going to be going over this syllabus, so if you want to grab a copy off Moodle, you can follow along. So this class is for anyone taking social sciences or majoring in social science. It's a very important class for a lot of reasons that we'll talk about in chapter 1, but it's good you're enrolled because you're going to need it. So it's one you have to do for sure. At any rate, my name is Devin Fell. I have a master's degree of science in industrial organizational psychology, which is a very small field in psychology. Not a lot of people have heard of it, but basically, in short, we're kind of like business psychologists. So organizations will contact IO-psychs when they need consulting for a variety of problems in the workplace, people not producing as fast as they used to, whatever it is that they produce, people not hitting sales quotas, morale being low, if a company needs to downsize, which is a nice way of saying fire people, they'll call us IO psychologists, and then we use a bunch of principles that you've learned in your other psychology classes, like classical conditioning, and especially operant conditioning is a big one that we use. But there's a variety of different techniques and stuff from psychology that we use to help improve the organization and the employees' experience with that organization as well. So, unbeknownst to me, when I got into this field, there's a lot of statistics involved. So, I ended up in grad school taking I don't even remember, 13 statistics. No, that's probably too many. That's an exaggeration. 9 statistics classes. I don't know. There was a lot. And so when I saw that on my, class schedule when I got into grad school, I really freaked out because I'm not a math-minded person naturally. It doesn't come easily for me. I'm strong in other areas like English and writing, and so math was always something I had to work really hard at. And so when I saw all these statistics classes in graduate school, I was freaking out at first. But statistics is like a completely different animal from any other math classes you've ever taken before. So I would encourage you to kind of have an open mind coming into it if you're not a math-minded person. If you are a math-minded person, you're going to do fine. You're going to love it. But if you're like me and you kind of struggle with math, don't worry. You're going to be okay. All right. So personal things about me, because sometimes I tell stories when I teach. I have a husband that I've been with for, let's see, we got married in 2006, for a long time. And I also have 2 kids. And so I am currently recording this in my bedroom because I have to hide from the kids to do work. So sorry about that. I don't know where I'm supposed to record, but here I am. Okay, so other things that you should know. If you need to email me, my email address is on the syllabus. I would definitely encourage you to email me regularly and often, any questions that you have. We also have a tutor for this class. We might have 2 actually. But their information is going to be on Moodle, and I encourage you to reach out to them as well. So let's just communicate, and then I can help you through the course. Feel free to contact me. When you do email me, if you could just put Social Science 10 in the subject line. I teach a lot of classes. I teach at Fullerton. I teach at Mount Sac. I teach at Chaffey and San Bernardino. So I teach all over. And so when you email me, if you could just put the class, because I teach multiple classes as well. Psych 1, development, research methods, personal and social adjustment, human sexuality, a bunch. But at any rate, just be clear on which of my classes you're in so I don't waste your time writing back like, who are you? What class are you in? Okay. So if you want to have a longer conversation with me, definitely email me and set up an appointment, and then we can do Moodle chat or Skype or whatever. So the course description is statistics as applied to the social sciences, including such topics as measurements, frequency distributions, measures of central tendency, variability, the normal distribution curve, correlation, sampling, statistical inference, hypothesis testing, and analysis of variance. So these are some of the terms you're going to be learning this semester. So right now it might seem foreign to you, and that's totally fine. This is the stuff we're going to be talking about all semester long. So for the required text, you do need the Sprint Hall book. It's called Statistical Analysis. It's the 9th edition. So you hopefully can find it for inexpensive if you get like a used one. Or you rent one. But if you do rent one, just make sure that the return date is after the final exam. Because in this class, you're allowed to use all your materials, including the textbook, on all quizzes and exams. So you're going to want to have that text throughout the whole course. So just check that if you're renting. You're also going to need a basic calculator, and I mean basic. In fact, let me go get mine. Hold on, I'll be right back. So this is the calculator you need. Or one just as basic as this. It definitely doesn't have to be this brand or anything. I think this one's from like 1960, so I don't know if you would even be able to find it. But what I want you to notice about this is that it is very simple. And so we in this class are going to be, how do I put this? Okay, so when we are calculating numbers, we are calculating to the 100th, so 2 digits after the decimal. So we work with really small numbers. And on basic calculators, there's only like 7 digits after the decimal that will appear. Whereas if you use a scientific calculator, there's like 8 digits. And so what happens is it causes the answers to be rounded differently if you use a basic calculator versus a scientific calculator. And so you need to get a basic calculator that has a square root function. That's all you need to have on it, so that our numbers will end up the same when we round them. So trust me, you can get them at like the dollar store or Amazon or whatever. So get one of those. Also, I don't know how to work a scientific calculator, so if you have problems with that, I can help you. But if you need help pushing the numbers or the square root sign, I can help you on a basic calculator. So you're also going to need SPSS. I have several ways for you to get it for free on our course, and then also if you want to have kind of a version that maybe isn't glitchy or works perfectly, because sometimes the free ones can be a little bit glitchy. If you want to have one that works seamlessly, then I have a link to purchase one for $35 within our course. So check that out when you get inside our course. But whatever you decide in terms of SPSS, which I should tell you is the statistical program that we're going to be using in lab to do our statistics on. So you're going to need that. But once you get inside the course, you can kind of check out what options I have for you and then either go with the free or the $35. And then makeup quizzes and the final exam are allowed on a case-by-case basis at my discretion. Generally, they're allowed for compelling reasons only, like you were hospitalized, had a baby, you were in jail, stuff like that. Okay, so you have to have a valid reason, and I reserve the right to request documentation. So if you have to go to court, I'll ask you for the court order. If you had to go to the hospital, I might ask you for the hospital papers, things like that before I would issue you extra time on an exam or a makeup exam. So for late assignments, late work is going to be accepted 1 week following the original due date, but it's only going to be worth half credit. After the original due date of the homework assignments, I will make the answer key available to you so you can go back and check your answers. And they have all the handwritten calculations out so you can follow along and see exactly what you did right or not. And so those become available right after the homework assignment is due. So if you're going to turn it in late, the answer key is going to be available to you. It's not cheating if you want to look at it and use it to help you, work through the assignment and submit your final homework assignment. Sometimes we learn best in math by having the answer and working backwards, so I'm not opposed to you. If you're confused on an assignment, just waiting until it's due and then finding the answer key and then submitting your homework late for half credit. Because a lot of times people actually end up learning the material that way. I wouldn't recommend that you do that every time because, you want to try to get as many points as you can and you're only going to get half credit. But it's a good strategy if you're confused every now and again. All right. What else? Further extensions or full points may be allowed on a case-by-case basis at my discretion. All work must be submitted on Moodle. I do not accept work via email ever under any circumstances. If you send me an attachment, I won't even open it. Your work has to be on Moodle in order for me to look at it, grade it, anything like that. And then respectful behavior. This course requires all students to be tolerant, respectful, and sensitive to others. I'm a psychologist, so I care about people's feelings. Don't want anyone to get their feelings hurt. I don't know. I mean, normally there's not like a lot of controversial stuff talked about in statistics, so it's normally not really a problem. But at any rate, be respectful and sensitive. Inappropriate behavior, including acts of discrimination, inappropriate content or language, otherwise will be addressed and may be reported to administration. Okay, so the course requirements for this class are next, and there are 800 points possible. So if you look on the next page, there is a grading rubric. And so if you look at it, it will tell you how many points you have to get the letter grade that you want. And so, in psychology, we're all about goal setting and stuff. So go ahead and kind of make a goal for yourself. What is the letter grade that you want? And then see how many points you have to get that letter grade. And that's the challenge. Just how many points can you get to get that letter grade? One time I read some research that said that students often would equate one failed exam or one failed assignment to like a catastrophic ending. So they would be like, oh, I failed this first quiz. I'm going to fail all my quizzes. I'm going to fail this class. I'm going to fail out of college. No one's going to hire me. I'm going to die alone. And I don't want you to do that. I just want you to take the points you get from each assignment. Sometimes you're going to get more points. Sometimes you're going to get less points. Bank them, add them to your total, keep it moving. Don't stress out about individual assignments. Okay. The goal is to get a cumulative number of points. All right, so you have to show all work. You're going to be doing your work on worksheets that are available to you in the modules. So if you're in chapter 1, there will be a worksheet there for you. You're going to, actually, I don't know if chapter 1, oh yeah, chapter 1 does a worksheet. You're going to get that worksheet. You're going to either, put it up on your computer or print it out, but you're going to have it handy while you're watching the lecture videos. And then within the lecture videos, we're going to do the work. I have a video, like a tutorial video of me doing the worksheet, so you'll follow along and do the worksheet. And then when you do the homework, same deal, you're going to print out the homework assignments, and then you're going to, write your answers right on the homework assignment, or you can use, extra scratch paper or whatever. But you will be submitting that. So when you do your homework, the work that you are writing down, make sure that it's legible and make sure that it's, step by step and very, comprehensive. You don't leave any steps out, because you are going to be submitting the work that you do either on the homework or on a separate piece of paper to Moodle. And you do want to write down each step that you do, which I know sounds tedious, even for little things like 2 times 2 or for when you're rounding, because by the end of the semester, one problem is going to take us like 45 minutes to get through when you learn those kind of more advanced statistical tests. And so I just want you to build the habit now of step by step writing down what you did, so that if at the end of the problem you realize that this answer you have doesn't make sense, it can't possibly be the right answer, then you just have to go back through your work and find, oh, look, I rounded wrong here, or 2 times 2 is not 6. And then you can correct that error and proceed from there, rather than having to start the whole 45-minute problem over again. So show all your work clearly, because you are going to have to submit it in order to access the portion of Moodle where you put in your answers, so that you can get, credit for the homework assignment itself. So for homework, there's kind of 2 parts. You submit your work, and then you also submit your answers in Moodle. Okay. So there's 20 of those homework assignments. They're worth up to 5 points each for a total of 100 points. Assignments are posted on Sunday, and they are going to be due on Moodle by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Of course, you can turn them in anytime earlier. Students will need to show work by submitting handwritten calculations, or they will not receive credit because they won't have access to the assignment where they put in their scores for credit. Okay, and then for quizzes, there's going to be 6 quizzes throughout the semester. Each quiz is worth 50 points. You can use all course materials. You'll be allowed one attempt to complete the quiz. So that means that if you start the quiz and then you're like, oh, I got to go get lunch, let me log out and come back, you can't do it. It'll just submit however many of the questions you finished and leave the rest blank, and that'll be your score. So you can't like take a time out while you're taking the quiz. So make sure you set off a block of time where you're able to just sit down and work on the quiz without like distraction or having to step away. Let's see. You will be given 3 hours to complete each quiz. Quizzes will be due by 11:59 the Saturday of the week. They're available, but you can turn them in, the Friday of the week or the Monday, whenever you want. So then there's also going to be lab assignments, and this is where you'll need that SPSS software. And so there are 160 points possible with the lab assignments. There are going to be 8 throughout the semester. Each is worth up to 20 points. We'll be using the software SPSS. Students will need to show work by submitting what are called outputs. It's basically just like a printout of what you do on SPSS. So you'll have to submit that. Or you will not receive credit for the actual lab assignment where you put your answers into Moodle. So lab assignments will be due on Moodle by 11:59 on Saturday. I tried to keep all the due dates just Saturday at 11:59 p.m. so you're not like, is it, when stuff due? Is it Tuesday? Okay. All right, and then the final exam is worth 150 points possible. It's cumulative, so you gotta know everything from the whole semester. Luckily, I have like tons of resources for you, tons of materials. All of the PowerPoints are available to you. I highly encourage that you have them accessible while you're taking the quiz. When I designed this course, I wrote the quizzes first, and then I wrote the PowerPoints from the quizzes. So if it's on the PowerPoint, it's on the quiz. So have those quizzes handy. Have those PowerPoints handy for the quiz. All right, what else? You'll only be allowed one attempt on the final, and you have 6 hours to complete it. It's due the last day of the semester. You're also going to have a lab final, and that is 60 points possible. The lab final is cumulative, so it's on all the labs that we've done all semester. So you'll want to have those lab assignments and notes and all the stuff, materials that you used for that, for the lab assignments and the lab portion of the class. You'll want to have that readily available during the lab final. Okay, and then last but not least, there are these stats in real life discussions, so IRL discussions, I call them. There's going to be 6 of them. Each one's worth 5 points for a total of 30 points possible. And these are just going to be like discussion prompts where I give you real life examples of stats out there in the wild. And then I'm going to ask you to comment and talk about them. And so each discussion is going to require you to make one post, like an original post where you respond to the prompt that I have up there, and then you're going to reply to 2 of your peers' posts as well. So discussion posts will be due on Thursdays. Oh, I did do one on a different day. Okay. Discussion posts will be due on Thursdays by 11:59 p.m. and then replies are due on Saturday. For discussions, we have to have something due earlier in the earlier in the week so that people have stuff to respond to by the due date of Saturday. So that's why we had to do that on Thursdays. All right, final course grades. Course grades are based on the cumulative number of points obtained during the quarter. Retain all assignments that you turn in. So like once you submit your handwritten calculations or your completed homework, paper, whatever you submit, to make sure you have like a backup copy stored for yourself as well. just in case there's a grading discrepancy. In terms of attendance and participation, you're required to participate in course activities a minimum of 2 times a week. The days and times that you access our course in Moodle are up to you, but weeks do begin on Sunday and they end on Saturday. So the first day of the week that you access Moodle, you're going to watch and listen to a lecture video. So from the home screen, you will see the module where this video is in, and then beneath that is going to be the chapter 1 module, and beneath that the chapter 2 module, and so on and so forth. And so when you see the modules at the very top, the first entry there is going to be the lecture videos for each chapter. So you're going to watch the lecture video, and then the second day of the week that you access Moodle, you will complete assignments for credit. You can do that on the same day if you want. That's totally fine. But you just need to make sure that you are accessing the course a minimum of 2 times a week, and that you are either watching lecture videos or doing work during those days. Okay, so let's see this. So yeah. Students that do not watch and listen to the lecture and complete the worksheets will not be eligible to do the assignments. So you have to watch the lecture video and then move through the worksheets and the homework in order on the module. And when you complete one, then the next one unlocks, and so on and so forth. If you choose to stop attending this course, it is your responsibility to drop. And if you decide you don't want to be in the class anymore, you don't want to just disappear, but you do want to actually drop the class, because otherwise you're going to end up with an F on your transcript when you didn't fail the course. So that wouldn't be appropriate. You just didn't finish the course, so you would want to get a withdrawal. All right, academic dishonesty, so cheating, plagiarism. I will report any instance of cheating or plagiarism that I see to the powers that be, the administration, student life, and that can have very severe consequences for a person. It can cause you to get kicked out of school. It can stick on your transcript, which can make it difficult for you to transfer out of schools. So definitely don't cheat. Also, I do always like to just say, if we lived in a world where everyone cheated their way through college, what kind of society would we have? Do you really want to go to the doctor that's like, oh, you got cancer? Oh, well, I cheated my way through the cancer test. You don't want that, right? So, let's be positive, contributing members of society and actually learn the stuff instead of trying to cheat. But, it's not normally a problem. You'll be fine. Disability programs and services. Please contact DPS at the number on the syllabus if you require assistance or special services. And then please also inform me of any accommodations that you require as soon as possible, and I will make those accommodations for you, no problem. But let's just communicate about them. All right, technical assistance is going to be inside of the Canvas course. I have the FAQ page that I definitely encourage you to look over. It has a lot of assistance with technical issues and other things as well, like that what if grade feature I talked about. And then there is the help forum on our course, and it has the information for the help desk, which is there to help you with computer issues. So if you have a computer issue, call the help desk. Their number is on the syllabus as well. So definitely reach out to them if you're having any type of issue with Canvas. Also, if I say like an assignment is due this week and then you go to do it and you find that it's locked, let me know, because sometimes I make mistakes when I'm setting up the course. So if you run into any issues that it seems like is just like a me error, just email me so I can fix it for you real quick. But if it's like an ongoing problem or something, if you don't know how to open a PDF, if you don't know how to edit a PDF and you've looked at the FAQ, then, contact the help desk and they can help you. And then finally, please come to me with any questions you have throughout this semester. I'm here to help you. I want you to succeed. Like I was saying, I was not originally a stats person. Now I love stats. And if you would have told me that I was going to say that 20 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you, for sure. So be open to the idea that it might be a challenge. Well, it will be a challenge, but a fun challenge. You might actually learn to love math if you haven't in the past. So hopefully you will, maybe. So anyways, come to me if you have any questions. We're going to follow the course calendar pretty strictly. So definitely be aware of the course calendar and what modules we're covering each week. And then reach out to me if you have any questions. And so what you're going to want to do now is get started on reviewing the class resources module and then diving into chapter 1. You can also watch the TA welcome video that I put up for you if you want to get to know her, and so she can introduce herself to you. And let's see what else. I don't know. It's going to be a fun semester. We're going to have a good time. Definitely let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I'm here to help you. I want you to succeed, and so I will see you on Moodle.